Hello and welcome to this first episode of my building vlog. I'm gonna build that tugboat here. It's a Chinese-made kit you can order online. I've got mine from AliExpress, but you can also find it on eBay. It's in the 1/18 scale, which means that the overall hull length is only 273 millimeters, so it's quite tiny. Nevertheless, you can equip it with RC components, or at least I intend to do so. I bought the kit because I thought it would be a nice addition to my Tugboat. It's from the same manufacturer, it's in the same scale. I think these two will look great together. If you want to see some footage of that model, check out my channel. So at a first glance we have some transparent tubes. I have no idea what they're good for, but I guess I'm gonna figure out. Then we have the roof for the cabin that comes on the deck, and I guess some railing. Next up we have a bag with some fittings, 3D printed parts as far as I can tell. We have a fire extinguisher, steering wheel, and of course we have the hull. It's quite robust. It's 3D printed as well, and it's actually quite smooth, so no typical structure from 3D printed parts. I'm very surprised. So we have some decals here. I guess all the components that are necessary for the build are included in this pack here. So I'm gonna take that apart and show you guys what we've got inside. First off, we have some material for the windows. We can see the deck here. It's all pretty nicely engraved. When I flip it around, I can see the structure, the inner structure that goes into the hull, I guess. And as you can see, some slight warping, but not too bad. Next up, we have a bag with all sorts of metal components. We have the motor, prop shaft, coupling. It all looks quite okay. Let's put that aside. We've got some photo etched parts for detailing. I think they're gonna add a nice touch to the final model. I'm looking forward to it. Let's take a look at the wooden sheets we've got in the pack. We have the deck, of course. Very nicely engraved. We have parts for the steering house. As you can see, they've put some tape over very fragile parts, so that's quite nice. Some further parts also for the deck house, I guess, and then we have the deck again, but it's in a different type of wood, so I guess this is going to be an understructure, and you're supposed to glue the nice deck on top of it. So yeah, probably is gonna go over this. And of course we have the inner structure that goes into the hull. And I think this is the starting point of our build. It's important to note there are no instructions coming with the kit, so it's you have to figure it out all by yourself. So I figured we have semi-bulkheads, or whatever you want to call them. So no full bulkheads going from side to side. And they go into these ridges here. Whenever you have laser cut parts, I recommend that you give them a quick sand over, because where the laser burned through the wood, you have these dark edges, and glue is not going to stick particularly well to that edge. Give them a quick sand over and you should be perfectly fine to glue them in. As you can see, I've started with one side. I intend to build one side after each other, and so far everything goes according to plan. The parts do fit quite well, so not much of adjusting. Quick sand over, some glue. And I use this special glue here because I tried to glue them in place with super glue, but it didn't stick that well to the hull. By now I've completed one half. of the hull. As you can see, we have some parts with very tiny wooden squares, so on the stringer here and as well as on one of the bulkheads here. They're very delicate parts, and of course I managed to break both of them as I free them from the sheet. I've made a mistake, so I glued everything in place and then realized that this bulkhead comes from the top and I had to rip it off again. But so far everything is fine and is working well. So that's how far I've come today. I've glued in the inner structure into the hull and I leave it to dry. I hope you had fun watching this first episode of my building vlog. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see the next episode, subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Goodbye.